Services Committee announcing bipartisan inquiries into U.S. strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. More than 80 suspected narco-terrorists have been killed in strikes since early September. The White House insists the actions were legal and conducted in self-defense. Chad Program has the latest from Capitol Hill. Hi, Chad.
Dana, good morning. Bipartisan lawmakers say they need more information about strikes in the Caribbean. There's a dispute about if Secretary of War Pete Hegseth gave a kill order for a second strike on an alleged narco-boat in September.
We don't allow the military to act as the police officer, the prosecutor, the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Raskin calls the strike a, quote, war crime. Hegseth and the White House say the strikes were legal. Hegseth denies that he issued the order. The administration insists that the U.S. acted to protect self-interest. Lots of Republicans have questions, but many support the administration's explanations.
I can't recall any time in my history doing counterterrorism operations where we strike a group, whether that's a building or a boat or a vehicle, and then we were like, oh, well, they're survivors. Do we have to go? We can't kill them. Of course we kill them.
Some bipartisan lawmakers demand more information. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer believes the administration has something to hide.
This is such a serious matter that Secretary Hegseth himself should come before the Congress to testify under oath about the nature of his order, the evidence supporting the strikes, and an explanation for what the goals are.
Now bipartisan investigations are underway in both the House and Senate. Schumer and Virginia Democrat Tim Kaine want to force a vote to assert congressional war powers. If it passes, it could restrict future strikes. Dana?
All right, Chad, thank you so much.
So Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, member of the Armed Services Committee with me now. Senator, good morning to you. I want you to listen to your colleague, Senator Kelly out of Arizona. He's red hot about the accusations on him. Here's what he said.
I will not be intimidated by this president. I am not going to be silenced by this president or the people around him, because I've given too much in service to this country to back down to this guy. There needs to be an investigation. We need to pull some of these members of DOD and the military into the armed services committees in the House and the Senate.
So we'll see if we get there, Senator. Just your reaction to what he's saying.
Well, Mark is out there trying to talk like a tough guy, and it's not becoming of him. I used to really take him serious because he actually is a pretty smart guy. But I mean, just yesterday, I was on a news program right before him, and he goes out and says the president doesn't like brown people. He's trying to get attention for whatever reason. Maybe he's trying to think there's an opportunity for him to run for president, but he's failing. I mean, what he said about our men and women in uniform about not following direct orders was completely reckless and ridiculous by sowing any type of doubt and dissent inside of our men and women. Why we're at a time of unprecedented dangers from abroad and home, and then you see him go out like this and starts throwing out this rhetoric. It sounds like to me he's pandering to this far left base, which is why the Democrats have a low approval rating, which is the lowest they've had since they've actually measured the Democrat Party's approval rating. So I hate that Mark Kelly's going down this path, but this is what happens when you have people that are more interested in political gain than they are actually leading for American people. Because who could argue about us being proactive against these drug terrorist organizations that are flooding our streets with drugs, Bill, that no one can deny? I mean, think about this. We've had more overdose deaths in the United States in 2024 than we had in the entire Vietnam War. And so we should be applauding President Trump and Secretary Hegseth for being proactive when the previous administration turned a blind eye to it and opened our borders.
Okay, so from what I understand, documents are available for members of Congress to see today.
Right.
From what I understand, there will be a briefing on the Hill with the select members of the House and the Senate side. We'll see how that goes. Here's Caroline Levitt talking about that. Yes, and a lot of questions to the White House on this. Roll it.
There have been a number of document reviews for members of Congress. 29 senators and 92 representatives have reviewed those documents, which is about 2/3 of those are Democrat members, and they have been made available to all 100 senators, all 435 members of the House, and to general counsels of the relevant committees on a bipartisan basis for their review.
Okay, a couple things here. Have you seen the documents? And apparently the admiral who was involved in this has been making phone calls, it's my understanding, with some people on the Hill. Have you spoken to him?
I haven't spoken to him. I have spoke to Secretary Hegseth. I have been briefed on this. I haven't reviewed the documents yet. We plan on doing that today. But I do understand that this was a proactive strike that was well within the authority of the president and within international waters to be able to go after these terrorist organizations. And once again, we haven't seen the video of it yet. If there was a second strike, it wouldn't be to just simply, take out the survivors, is because there was still a threat or an opportunity for them to run. Maybe the first strike didn't just disable the boat, but didn't destroy the boat, so it was able to still move forward. But I believe in the briefing that I received, Bill, that this was well within the authority of the president and Secretary Hegseth to use lethal force in this matter.
No wiggle room?
I don't see any wiggle room. And once again, this is the president being proactive on protecting our streets. You think about what's happening with the drug war that's taking place, right? You have DHS that's taking out the cities, drug runners, and taking out the lanes of distribution, and you have the president and the Secretary of War who's taken out the distribution of delivering the drugs onto our shores, and it's being effective. We're seeing the drug numbers and the apprehension of these drug cartel members and the amount of drugs flowing into our cities and streets dramatically drop. So this is the first time we've actually had an administration that's been forward pressing on drugs since Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, understood. Sir, thank you for coming on. I'm out of time. Thank you for your time. We'll see your reaction after you see those documents later today. Thank you, sir, for your time. Dana.
Please subscribe to our official channel, USA News, and stay with us to get the latest daily updates from around the world. Stay healthy, stay informed, and live your life beautifully. This is USA News Today, bringing you truth and clarity every day.